You know what's crazy? I used to think that I was being gentle with my hair. Like I was doing the whole natural, no heat, sulfate-free, clean girl thing, and my hair was still breaking, thinning, frizzing up, and just not thriving the way that I wanted to. And it took me way too long to realize that a lot of the stuff that I thought was healthy for my hair was actually wrecking my hair. So in today's video, we are talking about 10 things that I did not realize were damaging to my hair, even when I thought that I was being careful. If you have been doing everything right and your hair is still not where you want it to be, this might be why. I am breaking down everything that I did wrong, what I do differently now, and what actually worked for me after years of trial and error. This is stuff that I wish I knew 10 years ago. When I fixed these, my hair started changing. Less frizz, way fewer split ends, and just that healthy hair look that you cannot fake. So let's get into it. No fluff, no filters, just things that might be secretly wrecking your hair. The first one, using heatless curls at all. This one hurts my soul because I really thought I was doing something smart here. I did heatless curls for months using socks, robes, foam rods. I wrapped my hair tightly and slept on it, thinking that I was protecting my hair from heat damage, but the constant tension, wrapping my hair super tight and sleeping on it every single night, I literally almost gave myself traction alopecia, like actual hair loss around my temples and crown. It took me months to even notice what was happening, and even longer to admit that it was because of something that I thought was healthy. It is not just the hair getting damaged, it is your scalp too. Constant pressure and pulling overnight creates inflammation at the root level. That means slower growth and weaker new hair strands. Just because it is not heat does not mean that it is damage free. I am way more careful now about tension on my hair and my scalp, especially overnight. I stick to low tension hairstyles, loose satin scrunchies, and I rotate my protective styles to avoid putting pressure on the same areas over and over again. Based on the way that you use heatless curls, it makes total sense. Just tying the heatless curls, having them wrapped tightly around the rod overnight, all of that was just putting too much stress on my hair. And now if I want curls, I will literally just use a hair straightener to curl my hair. I make sure to apply a heat protectant before, and I am using K18 once every 2 weeks. So if I do get any sort of damage from like the hair straightener that I use literally once a week, then the K18 takes care of that. The next one, this one is kind of embarrassing. I used to spray my normal body perfume directly into my hair because I thought it made me smell good. But what I did not know is that most perfumes contain alcohol that dries out your hair cuticle, causes frizz, and even contributes to split ends. Basically, I was frying my ends for the aesthetic. Now I use the Kitsch hair perfume, and this stuff is amazing. First of all, it is actually made for your hair. It does not dry your hair out. Second of all, it has this odor neutralizing technology, so it does not just cover smells, it actually eliminates them. I use it between wash days, after working out, or even on my pillow and on my clothes. My favorite scent is the Amber Shores. If there's a day when I can't wash my hair, I'll use it, or even after I'm done doing my hair care routine, I just spray it to just like set everything in. But all of them smell elevated, soft, and clean, not fake, fruity, or overpowering. I get compliments on them every single time that I wear these, and it does not leave my hair sticky or stiff like body sprays do. It also sprays like a fine mist, which I love, so there are no sticky wet patches, just a light even fragrance that lasts all day. Also, the bottle looks really cute on your counter. They're very aesthetically pleasing. They're very minimal, but yet colorful. So putting them like on your counter is going to be very cute. So I'm going to link all of these below. Thank you, Kitsch, for sponsoring this video. The second mistake is not using a medicated or dandruff shampoo regularly. So many of us avoid dandruff shampoo because we think that it is just for people with flakes, but scalp buildup, itchiness, and even hair fall can happen without visible dandruff, and especially if you use a lot of dry shampoo, oils, that stuff builds up fast. Here's the thing, a congested scalp literally chokes your hair follicles. It can cause inflammation, excess oil, and it can make it harder for new hair to grow in healthy. So I rotated in something like tea tree, zinc, or salicylic acid shampoo every few washes. It keeps my scalp clear so that my follicles can actually breathe, which helps with hair retention and thickness. I noticed less scalp itch, less greasy roots, and even better volume once I started doing this. If your hair feels heavy, oily, or irritated at the roots, try adding one of these shampoos in. You do not have to use it every single wash, however often you need it. Okay, so this next one took me years to figure out. Your hair is not static, it changes with age, hormones, stress, climate, even the water in your shower. After having 2 kids, a lot remained the same, but there were some things that changed. I started getting these weird frizz patterns that I never had before, and I kept using the same products that I had always loved, and suddenly they were not working. My ends were brittle, my roots were flat, and my scalp felt irritated. And I would get these little bumps on my scalp. Finally realized I had to let go of my old routine and I had to listen to what my hair needed right now. So now I pay attention to the weather, my cycle, my stress levels, everything. Sometimes I need more protein. Sometimes I need to clarify. Sometimes I just need to stop overcomplicating things. But pretending that your hair will stay the same forever, that is setting yourself up for failure. This next one, I cannot believe I didn't know sooner. I used to curl a section, let go, and move on, thinking that the damage stopped when I pulled the heat away, but that is wrong. Your hair continues to cook after the iron is removed. It is the same way food keeps cooking once it is out of the oven, and if you don't cool it quickly, the heat lingers in the hair shaft and causes structural damage from the inside. Now I do one of 2 things. I either hold the curl in my hand until it cools, or I hit it with a cold shot from my blow dryer. The difference in hold, shine, and damage control has been huge. My ends stay smoother, my curls last longer, and I do not get that crunchy fried look the next day. Not using K18 properly. I thought that I didn't need it. I was already using deep conditioners, oils, masks, the works. But my hair was still snapping mid-shaft, especially around the back of my head. Now K18. It is not a conditioner. It literally rebuilds broken keratin chains inside the hair strands. That is damage that no oil or mask can fix. I started using it once a week and I could feel the difference by the second use. It made my hair stronger, smoother, and way less prone to breakage. Now it is a non-negotiable part of my hair care routine. So now let's talk about the mistake that I made using K18. Like it was just another leave-in. Before I would shampoo my hair, like clarify, roots to ends, towel dry a little bit, apply K18, and then I would apply a leave-in conditioner and then a serum on top or like an oil. What I found with that is that it really dried out the ends of my hair. I did not feel like I had the proper condition, which I didn't because I wasn't applying conditioner, and I think my hair needs that layer of conditioner or hair mask. So what I do instead now, clarify my hair from roots to ends, and then I remove excess water from my hair. In the shower, I apply K18. I wait 4 minutes because it works in literally 4 minutes, but beyond 4 minutes, there's nothing else that it does. So after that, I do not rinse it out. I apply a hair mask on top of K18 and I leave that in for 3 or 5 minutes and then I rinse it out, because beyond 4 minutes, as I said, K18 is not going to do anything. So you can technically rinse it out. And my hair after that routine feels amazing. I'm getting the bond repair benefits and my hair looks and feels smooth and soft and healthy after the wash. Once I started doing it properly, my breakage stopped completely. The next thing is brushing wet hair. So before, and this is like literally less than a year ago, I thought that it was okay to brush my wet hair. Because I have straight hair, it is not ideal to brush wet hair. You should probably use a wide tooth comb if you are going to do anything. But I realized that doing any of that is actually damaging for my hair, just because of my hair and how it is very straight, and because it is straight, it all clings together. So brushing it while it's wet puts so much stress on my hair strands. And also when your hair is wet, it is more prone to damage because of how fragile it is. The cuticles are raised, your hair swells, and any sort of tension or brushing that you are doing to your hair is going to impact it like 10 times more when it is wet. Now, because of the product layering routine that I have, where I layer a serum before washing, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, serum, oil, whatever, and then a heat protectant, because of all of that, my hair is now essentially detangled at all times, even when it is wet. So I don't need to brush it or comb it when it is wet anymore. And because of that, I do not brush it or comb it when it is wet. I wait until it is 100% dry to brush it. So I use a blow dryer. Of course, I blow dry my hair after washing. And I just use my hands to like sort of hold my hair down while I'm blow drying and to kind of like guide my hair in any direction that I want it to be guided in while blow drying. But it is not until I am done blow drying that I use a hairbrush. I really think in addition to K18, that simple step has totally transformed my hair. I would expect a few split ends. I have none right now, and I think it is because of the fact that I am not brushing it when it is wet or combing it when it's wet. Now, the very last mistake that I was making on my hair, again, in as little as 6 months ago I was doing this, is using Velcro rollers. So something very cringe happens every time I open up my little box of Velcro rollers. There are so many hair strands that are stuck on the Velcro rollers. Why? Because they literally pulled them out of my scalp. That is how much tension they give your hair. There is not a single blowout that I would risk the damage from Velcro rollers for. I used to love doing Velcro rollers. I've filmed many videos with them, but at this point in my hair care journey where I am desperately trying to retain as much length as possible and reduce hair fall as much as possible, I don't even want to touch Velcro rollers, not even for my bangs. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Everything that I mentioned is going to be linked below in the description. Again, thank you Kitsch for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to check out hair perfumes, I will link them in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.